In today's instant gratification, gotta have it now, supersize my results world, who has time to stop and sit? Well, what today's guest shares might surprise you. Can you really meditate your way to manifestation? Well, welcome to Havilah and Friends. I'm your host, Havilah Malone, and every week I'm bringing you in my world of inspirational speakers, mindfulness teachers, business experts, and more who are talking about the things that are important to you. And today's guest is Stephanie Osborne, who is the founder and CMO, or Chief Meditation Officer, of Meditate New Orleans. She's also the creator of Reclaiming the Goddess Within, Women's Empowerment and Mindfulness Conference. And she's the amazing wife of famed New Orleans artist Terrence Osborne and mother of 3 beautiful children. Welcome, my sister from another mister, Stephanie Osborne. Hey! I'm so glad to have you on today, to have you a part of this, because this is like right up your alley around meditation and mindfulness and just helping us get what we want from a really connected place. So I'm super glad that you are here.
Thank you.
So I want to know, you talk about your mission in life. And the mission that Meditate New Orleans has is to really help to connect people to their higher selves. So what does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
Well, we focus mostly on mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude. And mindfulness connects you to your intuition. And your intuition is your guidance to your higher self, So, yeah.
So have you always been into like mindfulness and meditation? Like, where did this come from, or how did this start?
I was introduced to it at NOCA, New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. I was in the theater department, and one of the classes was body movement. And we had a teacher, Ray Brazell, and he taught yoga. And in yoga, after we would stretch, yoga is like the first part. Meditation is a part of yoga, actually. Yoga stretches your body and then you are able to rest. And so we would stretch and then we would go into this resting place, and he would do visualizations with us and we would just lie there. And then I took it more in college, and then here and there. And then I started really needing it because I got ulcerative colitis, and diseases are often triggered by stress. And so I started meditating more and it also healed my mind.
So you mentioned about like developing the say the word again as well.
Ulcerative, like ulcers. So ulcerative colitis. It's like Crohn's disease. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times what we do, we'll suffer from different like diseases in the body or things that are going on because of stress. And there's so many people who are under so much stress because of trying to get so much stuff done and being super busy and always on the go. And then these things affect our lives and even the results that we're looking, like you were trying to go after these dreams and goals and make things happen. And we're actually doing things that are counterproductive for our like well-being, and so it sounds like that's something that you were dealing with, and so you were brought to meditation to be able to help with the healing process. And has it helped you?
It's helped my body so much, and it's also helped my relationships. It's helped me to focus and manifest more, because when you're in silence, answers come to you. And you're more connected, like I said, to your intuition, your higher self. So you're connected to the answers.
I love that. I love that. And there is a very special person. So, a matter of fact, thank you so much for this book. This is from Deepak Chopra. This is the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, which I absolutely love. And a lot of people familiar with Deepak from his spiritual teachings or the 21-day meditations that he does with Oprah. And this is actually your teacher, right?
Yes. I've studied primordial sound under Deepak Chopra. It's an inward mantra. So instead of with the Sokagai SGI organization, which they say out loud. You may have seen it on Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. They say that out loud. Whereas in at the Chopra Center, they do an inward mantra. So you have a private mantra similar to transcendental meditation, and it's secret, it's private, you don't share it, and then you repeat it silently to yourself.
So speaking of, there are like so many different forms of meditation. And so maybe you can share with us maybe just a few of the different forms or ones that, maybe you really connect with or love and use in your practice. Just give us a taste of what is available to us in meditation.
Yeah, so there's a mindfulness-based stress reduction, which John Kabat-Zinn, who was a teacher at the University of Massachusetts, he started working with with his patients, giving them meditation, and he found that patients that meditated healed faster, had a more optimistic outlook on their overall well-being, and so he created mindfulness-based stress reduction. And then there's Zen Buddhism meditation, which is all about being in the now, right now. It's nice. Now is such a beautiful thing because when you're focusing on what's going on right now, I say it all the time, but you're more likely to respond in stressful situations as opposed to react. Because when we often live in pain from things that have happened in the past and anxiety about what might happen in the future. So when you're in this moment, you're able to see things more clearly and respond to what's actually happening as opposed to anxiety and fear. I also like breathing meditation, and that's just focusing on the breath. And people do it all the time. They don't even realize it, but when they get stressed out, sometimes they'll just go, I need to take a breath. Yeah. And it actually reconnects you, brings you to the moment, and this is the only moment that exists right now.
I love that because you're right. There's so many times that we're in our minds, we're living in the past or we're living in the future. We're thinking about like what happened and, why it went wrong or why it didn't go the way we wanted it to, or we're stressed about what's going to happen or not going to happen, as opposed to just being here now, which is the only thing that's actually real, is now in this moment, in every single moment that, we're in. So, and I love that with those different forms of meditation to be able to use. I personally, have tried, several different forms, and even one where you look into the candle as the flame flickers and, breathe in and out. And it was nice for me, but it was just kind of like I still had the voices in my head or like my own internal dialogue going and going and going. And it took a while to be able to kind of like shut that, quiet them, like quiet that internal chatter. But what I found that works best, even for me, is a walking meditation. So going out into nature, and like I find I get so connected and grounded. Like I could be in front of a computer, like just typing away, trying to like get an answer or like write some brilliant line of, like for a book or something, and it just will not come. And I'm just like hitting a wall. But I'll go outside, I'll walk in a serene place like by the lake or something like that, and it's just like everything is all right in the world. I get the downloads, like I start to get information, it'll come in, and I'm just like, whoa. And it feels so good, and I feel my body release because my body will have been like tense and tight. And so the things that I want come faster, like the answer I was looking for or the line to finish, the paragraph or whatever, like it comes, and I'm like, who knew if I just let go?
That's so interesting because this is all about manifestation. And Oprah Winfrey has this story when she wanted the character in The Color Purple, and they didn't give it to her. And so she said she thought it was because she was too overweight. So she went to this, what she called a fat farm or a weight loss place. And she was walking around like, I'm going to lose this weight. And then she decided to Just let go. And she started singing, I surrender all. Just let go. Just trust what is. And as she was walking, Steven Spielberg called and said, if you lose any more weight, you won't get the role as Sophia. And she got that role, letting go and just trusting that everything is flowing as it should. So that's a beautiful example of walking, of just letting go, being in the moment.
I love that. And everybody can incorporate mindfulness or meditation into their lifestyle. But for people who are busy, they're on the go and trying to create new habits, like what are some simple ways that people can start to incorporate this mindfulness and meditation?
Okay, so in the morning, before you even turn on your phone, just do some stretches, or maybe take the first half hour before you check the internet. Like checking your email and social media gets your mind going, and it actually directs the focus. But when you choose to be in the moment, you're choosing your focus, which is whatever's happening now. So when you're brushing your teeth, using the bathroom, taking a shower, maybe stretching, feeding your dogs, just being there. Another thing is, before you get in the car, or when you get in the car, you can just sit for a moment and just be silent, knowing that it's just a couple minutes. You can even put your timer on for 5 minutes or 2 minutes. You might even start for 1 minute. 1 minute in silence without looking at your phone or engaging seems like a long time, but it just allow it. And another thing is walking. Like you said, maybe on a lunch break, you can just go walking by yourself. No music, no company, just walking. Or even when you eat an apple or your
Oh my
breakfast.
God, I love this. Like, I was actually going to ask you to share. So, from the Reclaiming the Goddess Within conference that was last year, Stephanie shared on stage this amazing practice to be able to help you to like really be in the moment, to savor every single moment. And I tried what she's about to share with you right now, and it was dang near orgasmic. Honestly.
Did you
And
try it with?
I did it with water, and I did it with it was food. And I also did it with something I was eating. I don't remember what the food item was, but I did it with water and then with food. And the power of presence and being in the moment. Please share with them what the practice is.
I love to do it when I'm having a moment. Um, Even if my ulcerative colitis is acting up, because not because of anxiety, but which it could happen, but because even when I'm gonna get back to it, but even when you're meditating, things happen. So stress comes, and you use the meditation as an anchor to bring you back to the present moment, because anxiety is based on what's not happening now, right? It's based on what is going to happen in the future. So you use meditation to bring you back to the moment. But one other thing I do to bring myself to the moment, or to heal my body when I'm not feeling well, is I drink water, cold water. And I just imagine the water being molecules of light. And I like it cold, and or very hot. And then I'll just take a sip, and then I'll let it go down my throat. I'll feel it going down my throat, and I'll just feel it until it hits my stomach, and I'll feel the chill in my stomach. And then when it's gone, then I take another sip.
And it was so like, when doing it, it was like when the water, like you would be mindful of it being on your tongue and how it would feel. And it was almost like waves of the sea inside of your mouth, like the simplicity of it, but yet the vastness of it. And then like being mindful of when it got to each part in your mouth and when it started to go down your throat, like and you feel like, I think we move so fast sometimes that we don't feel, and a lot of it sometimes is even to not feel. We don't want to feel pain, hurt, disappointment, disgust, all those things. So we mask our emotions, we mask our ability to feel, and so you miss out on feeling a lot of different things and a range of different things. And so when you really bring your attention in this exercise of drinking water, it is amazing. Like I loved it. So I highly suggest try it. Share your results down below. And
Mom says that even eating an apple, it can take an hour to eat an apple. If you take a bite, well, first of all, you appreciate the redness of it, the skin. You might even clean it. Take a moment to clean it, and then you take a bite, feel it on your teeth, your tongue, the different textures, and then you chew it. And you chew it until you can't chew it anymore. And then you make a decision to swallow. And then you swallow the apple. You feel it digest. And then you bring your arm up and you bring it to your mouth and you take another bite. It's a beautiful thing, One thing, you just said something about we do things so often, like we suppress our emotions. And I went to this silent retreat at Spirit Rock in California. And so you go in, you turn in your phone, and you don't have a TV in your room, and you don't talk to people, you don't make eye contact, and you're just in silence. I'm working on a weekend silent retreat for people here in New Orleans. But so you're in this silence where you're not grasping for people's approval, feedback, response. You're not rejecting anyone because no one's talking to you. And you're just left with yourself. And so much emotion comes up because all day we're suppressing based on our judgment of what's going on, and keeping the face of society, keeping the smile on your face. So you're offended, suppress. You're angry, suppress. If you're excited but you're in a business meeting, suppress. It's suppress. And so when you go into meditation and things come up, it's like a freeing. It's like a releasing of all these emotions that you don't even realize because you're suppressing them. And that's one thing that meditation and mindfulness does. If you do it consistently every day, you suppress less and you're able to respond because you see the world in a different way. Things become a little more brighter when you meditate,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Colors become brighter, sounds become more louder, like things become more crisp, like the level of clarity, like the mental clarity that you can have, which also helps you to make less mistakes. It helps you to, do things more efficiently, and that way you get the results that you want a lot faster. It allows you to bring in information that is needed for like the connection or the person or the thing you were supposed to see to be able to take that left turn as opposed to the right turn. Like it's amazing because you get connected back to self. You get connected back to source, and there's so much power there. And why is this especially important for women?
Oh man, we focus. I even said, oh man. It's like we focus so much on what others' needs are. we're almost raised to tend to be caretakers, and we sometimes forget about our own needs. And when you can't feed someone else, I mean, when you can't feed yourself, you can't tend to other people. So it's really important to honor yourself, take care of yourself, take time for yourself, not only because you deserve it, but you have to fill your cup up so that it can overflow and give to others, as opposed to giving empty cups or half cups or three-fourths cups. Fill yourself. And you're also being a good example to your children when you take care of yourself, especially your daughters, but also your sons. Like, you want your son to marry a woman, well, from my perspective, you want your child to marry someone who's honoring themselves. So, and you want to honor yourself. You have to be an example.
I love that. Meditation is a great healer of the physical, the mental, the emotional. When all of those things are working in harmony together and working at their fullest, you can manifest your dreams a whole lot faster. And I want to thank Stephanie so much for coming on and sharing your insights, your wisdom, your story. And please tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, because if you're looking for, 5 mindful minutes online, or if you want to join for a live in-person session at the Terrence Osborne Gallery to sit and meditate, then you definitely want to reach out to Stephanie. So tell them how they can stay in touch with you.
You can go to meditateneworleans.com and look at our schedule. We offer meditation at Terrence Osborne Gallery on Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursday evenings are free. They're at 5:30, and you just need to text me to let me know you're coming. I'll save a seat for you. We also, you can check me out at Stephanie Green Osborne on Facebook, and Steph Ozzie on Instagram. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And when we share our stories, we get to live, learn, and love a little bit more. So I want you to be proof of what's possible. I'm Havilah Malone, and thanks so much for joining us for Havilah and Friends, and we'll see you next week.